Hello dear students, I am Mr. Chitra, course coordinator. Welcome you to the certificate course on basics of entrepreneurship, thoughts and applications. It is of 30 hours durations. The course outcome are: you will learn the concept of entrepreneur and entrepreneurship and the challenges faced by entrepreneurs. You learn steps to be followed in setting up the organizations and the facilities which are available from the government in setting up the business, as well as you will get some of the practical exposure to business setups, opportunities and challenges with new ventures. This course comprises recorded online teaching, 3 assignments, 3 tests and some of the entrepreneurial related activities. You can learn this course according to your pace of time. For the updates and tests and assignments, do in touch with an announcement tab. Let us start the course by hearing the success story of Dhirubhai Ambani. Dhirubhai Ambani born in Chorwad, a remote village in Gujarat, India. So Dheeraj Lal Hirachand Ambani, popularly known as Dhirubhai Ambani. He became an iconic Indian entrepreneur whose life and work present a textbook model of high growth entrepreneurship. The business he started, that is Reliance Commercial Corporation, has a spice trading company in a small room in Mumbai. In the early 1960s, has become the largest private sector in India and a Fortune 500 company in about 50 years. Truly, it is a rags to riches story. He was born in a poor Gujarati family as a second son of 5 children, born to Hirachand Ambani, a village school teacher, and Jamana Ben, and was a favorite child of his parents, especially the mother, who used to affectionately nag him about making money to supplement the family's small income, which he did even as a schoolboy when he used to engage himself in commercial activities such as retailing cooking oil, selling onion, potatoes price at the village market during the weekends and village fairs. Dhirubhai's early school days were rather uneventful. Even though he was highly intelligent, he could never concentrate much on academic work because of the financial difficulties of the family. He had high level of physical energy and an equally strong willpower and zest for life, so as to able to undertake difficult activities and complete them without looking back. So these qualities helped him emerge as a student leader. His family's poor financial situation and his father's ailment made himself his business as well as academic ambitions. On the advice of his ailing father, he discontinued his studies at matriculation and moved to Aden, that is MN, to take up a job with a French company, Union Bessie and Company, at a small salary of Rs 300. In those days, Aden was one of the busiest trading and oil bunkering ports in the world, harboring over 6,300 ships and handling over 1,500 dhows a year. Bessie and Company was the largest transcontinental trading firm east of Suez and was a primary trading agent for a large number of European, Asian, American trading firm and African companies dealing with exports relating to a wide variety of products. So it is here that Dhirubhai Ambani learnt his trading skills and made exclusive contacts in the trading and export business. He learnt ways of commodity trading, marketing and distribution, as well as currency trading and money management. He offered to work for free with a Gujarati trading firm in Aden with the intention of learning accountancy, documentation of purchases and shipping, and the ways of dealing with banks and insurance companies, all of which would come in handy in future when he started his own business. His quest for learning business skills was unmatched and he made use of all opportunities to learn the tricks of the trade. He used his lunch breaks for trading commodities in the market. and spent most of his leisure time reading books and magazines to improve his English, which turned out to be valuable asset later when he had to write letters to ministers and senior officials of the government during his early years of business startup. When Shell oil refinery was set up in Aden in 1954, Bessie and Company became the primary distributors of Shell refinery products. During this time, Dhirubhai was promoted to manage the company's filling station at the newly built harbour. So, Dhirubhai's dream of building his own refinery in future was inspired by this job, and he started developing relevant contacts through frequent visits to the refinery as well as the oil ships. So, in 1958, Dhirubhai returned to Mumbai with whatever little money he could save in Aden. While his ambitions were high, his capability to invest was very low, and he had to look for startup opportunities suitable for his financial position. So, realizing that a trading business may not need heavy investments, he started a spice trading company under the name Reliance Commercial Corporation. So, his office was a small room in Mumbai with the Spartan furnishings comprising just a table, 2 chairs, a writing pad and a pen. He used the telephone of his neighboring shops to run his business. Although Dhirubhai's formal education was low, the business education he extracted from his prior experience was of a much better quality than what is imparted in formal business education. Not surprisingly, he undertook thorough market research before starting his trading operations, surveying the wholesale spicy markets and export quotations of Mumbai. He realized that Indian exporters at that time were concerned primarily about getting high margins and ignored quality standards and delivery deadlines. So, Dhirubhai decided to focus on high quality products at relatively low margins. So, delivered promptly. In fact, to deliver his commitments for the customers, made the payments. He was also careful in choosing customers who valued quality, for which his Aden contracts became very successful. So, while Dhirubhai paid focused attention to whatever he undertook, he never missed a business opportunity. Even if it was not within his ongoing areas of operation, in this sense, he may be characterized as an opportunistic entrepreneur, which is probably the secret behind the exceptionally high growth of this company. An early example of this behavior was illustrated by his responding to a Gulf based trader's request for manure mixed topsoil for a sheikh's lawn. Though this product was no way related to spices, Dhirubhai promptly assembled it with the help of a science graduate and delivered it before time, for which he also quoted and received a bonus payment. So, realizing that the spice trade is too limiting for his ambitions and capabilities, Dhirubhai started looking for big trade opportunities, and he zeroed in on yarn trade. Though this was a highly profitable business, it required heavy investment and involved huge risk on account of price fluctuations in the international market. Besides, the yarn trade was dominated by large multinational companies like Forbes. Notwithstanding such constraints, Dhirubhai decided to enter this business. Here too, he did his market research by observing the yarn markets and learning the tricks of the trade. After which, he borrowed small amounts of money from several of his associates and started trading yarn in small quantities. The success of these operations brought him profits, which he readily distributed to his investors, honoring his promises in letter and spirit, which attracted more and more investors to him, making it eventually possible for him to realize his dream of becoming a big trader in yarn. A principle he had been followed in dealing with his investors: loss is mine, profit I share, is of a special significance for his early and later success in mobilizing huge capital for his mega projects. In dealing with these investors, he never compromised on that principle, even in an extremely unfavorable situations created by his rivals, who deliberately spread a rumor that Dhirubai's business had become insolvent and expecting a large number of demands for the return of the money lent to Reliance. So Dhirubai's friends advised him to go into hiding for a few days. To the surprise of all his well-wishers, he completely ignored this advice and instead put up a notice on the bulletin board of the association that whoever wanted their money back should contact him at his office at a particular time, and that the money would be returned to them. And not a single lender turned up at his office at the specified time. This is very shocking. But contrary to the general expectation, many people voluntarily came forward later to invest in his venture. A smart move made by Dhirubhai in the yarn trade was in recognizing the potential of the shiny variety of yarn that is called as Bamberg, after the Italian company Bamberg that developed it first, and locally called Chamki in Hindi, meaning shiny. Okay, on test marketing this in Mumbai, he realized that it was a hot preference for women's traditional as well as ceremonial dress in India. So immediately he took a flight to Japan, where the major manufacturers of Bamberg were located, and booked a large quantity of Bamberg for import. That lot was sold in India like hotcakes, which encouraged him to place several bulk orders, the resale of which in India brought huge revenues to Dhirubhai, as well as established him firmly in the yarn market. No wonder he got elected as a director of the Bombay Yarn Merchants Association, a position he very effectively used for standardizing brokerage and norms of payments for deals made in the yarn market, which further enhanced his reputation as an industry leader. So during the 1960s, a major concern for the government of India was to conserve foreign exchange, which led to the policy of allowing imports only against foreign exchange generated through exports. Especially for textile industry, it meant that one could not import synthetic fibers unless one generated foreign exchange through the export of rayon fabrics. So when textile manufacturers complained about this, started procuring rayon fabrics. Okay, when textile manufacturers complained about the non-viability of the policy on account of the high cost of manufacturing rayon fabrics in India, Dhirubhai started procuring rayon fabrics from the power looms. Power looms is a excise duty was low compared to the composite mills, and exporting them sometimes at a loss due to higher prices in India, using the contacts developed during his Eden days. The foreign exchange thus generated was used for importing nylon yarns, which could be sold in India at very high margins, which not only compensated for the export losses but also contributed to significant growth in Reliance Corporation's revenues. The growing popularity of nylon in India opened another window of opportunity for Dhirubhai, who realized that he could make much more money if he converted the yarn into fabrics rather than selling it as a raw yarn. Accordingly, in September 1966, he set up a textile mill in a plot measuring 5,000 square yards in the Naroda Industrial Estate near Ahmedabad, which later got expanded to a campus of 125 acres. Though his friends advised him to buy a second-hand mill, he opted for setting up a brand new state-of-the-art mill with machinery imported from European countries. As RCC then had enough money for such investment, the entire work of setting up the mill was completed in less than 6 months with the help of just 6 people. One was an engineering graduate, 2 were matriculates, and the rest were middle school 8th grade pass. So most of his top employees in the new mill were his friends and associates from the Eden days. So needless to say that the output of the state-of-the-art Naroda mill was of the highest quality standards and was attractively priced, in spite of which there were hardly any takers. The wholesales refused to buy Reliance mill products for fear of reactions from the established big textile mills. Dhirubhai was not the one to be cowed down by such tactics. Okay, we can But the strategy worked very well. Reliance products got entrenched in the market without any advertisements or publicly events. Even at the latest stage, Dhirubhai never asked for advance payments, but told the retailers that they could make the payment after selling the goods and realizing the revenues. His appeal to retailers was to help him grow and grow with him, which created a new structure for the industry by effectively removing the wholesalers from the picture. Moreover, when the company later branded its fabrics as Vimal, it means pure, there were several retailers interested in dealing only in Vimal, which led the creation of the retail franchisee system Only Vimal. With such dealer and customer friendly policies, it is no wonder that Reliance Textiles grew at an amazingly fast rate, both in terms of turnover as well as facilities. Dhirubhai and his elder son Mukesh was inducted as the co-chief executive of the Naroda mill, kept on adding more and more sophisticated machines and facilities to the mill, such as computerized water jet, looms, effluent treatment plant, etc., and a design center. By the late 1990s, the mill had about 85,000 employees and a turnover of 28 billion. The mill has always maintained a path of excellence as early as 1975. A World Bank team that visited 24 leading textile mills in India found Reliance Textile Industries Limited to be the best in India and certified it as excellent even by developed country standards. The growth, expansion and diversification of Reliance Industries were further accelerated when Dhirubhai inducted his two sons Mukesh and Anil into the business. Mukesh has a graduate degree in chemical engineering and an MBA from Stanford and is considered the architect of the company's growth by backward integration into petrochemicals, refineries and oil exploration. Anil is a science graduate and has an MBA from Wharton School and is credited with the financial innovations of the company, making Reliance the first Indian company to raise funds from global markets in 1992, as well as a favorite company for domestic investors. The company now operates in diversified areas like textiles, petrochemicals, power, telecommunications, information technology, infrastructure services, retail, capital markets and logistics. The company that Dhirubhai has started with rupees 15,000 has now grown into a conglomerate with a turnover of more than 20 billion US dollars and is the first Indian company to appear in the Fortune 500 list. It is currently being managed as two groups, one each under Dhirubhai's two sons Mukesh and Amir. Dhirubhai Ambani is an iconic entrepreneur who changed the industrial landscape of India. He is credited with shaping India's equity culture by attracting investments from small investors in a market otherwise dominated by major financial institutions. His sharp business acumen and relentless efforts and hard work has made the Ambanis the second richest family in the world. So, Dhirubhai Ambani has received recognitions worldwide for his great achievements. He was named the Indian Entrepreneur of the 20th Century by the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. He was awarded the Dean's Medal of Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania in June 1988 for outstanding leadership. Dhirubhai Ambani's exceptional business skills, especially in trading and marketing, continues to inspire many generations in the country and is a favorite theme of the B schools. His major contributions to business management is that he demonstrated in practice the importance of trust and loyalty for management, whether it is dealing with investors, dealers, customers or any other internal or external stakeholders. Even I have put up some of the achievements made by the Ambani group on slides. See, he has voted as a Indian Businessman of the Country in Business Baron's Global Multimedia Poll in December 1999 and is declared as the most admired Indian business leader by the Times of India and Business Hall of Fame in Asia Week, and he awarded the Dean's Medal by the Wharton School University and he is chosen as the Star of Asia by Business Week USA. So, Dhirubhai Ambani is a natural entrepreneur who probably did not need any guidance and counseling for for his entrepreneurial activities. However, there are many other entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs frequently ask themselves, am I really an entrepreneur? Do I have what it takes to be a success? Do I have sufficient background and experience to start and manage a new venture? So, as enticing as the thought of starting and owning a business may be, the problems and pitfalls of inherent to the process are as legendary as the success stories. So, the fact remains that more new business ventures fail than succeed. To be one of the few successful entrepreneurs requires more than just hard work and luck. It requires the ability to think in an environment of high uncertainty, be flexible and learn from one's failures. So, with this I will wind today's class. So, in the next class we will start with first chapter.